Good evening, all, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis Cochran. With me tonight, I have Mark Langridge and Stu Woolley. Tonight, we are going to talk about the recent updates on Casemiro. He's not staying more than the season, and then he will most likely go back to Brazil. Flamengo, Palmeiras, other clubs, Sao Paulo, are after Casemiro's signature, and also some Saudi club are after him. So it will be interesting. There will also be some development with Bruno. Maybe he has rejected most of the Saudi clubs, but is still open for next season. So we might get rid of both Bruno and Casemiro next season. A lot of wages and the core of our double pivot. So it will be interesting to see. We will also have a debate on the latest Manchester City verdict. They have done a settlement with the FA, and we will talk more about it and go into the depth of that court case. So it will be interesting to see the development of the Manchester City and the 115 charges. Guys, girls, it's been quiet on YouTube lately. I know it's an international break, but please smash the like, subscribe if this is your first time, and help us share the good word of Tactical Devils through the ether of the internet. So big up everybody, and we will be back after the break. Boom, 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 and we are live with Monday Night Jarvis's Corner Tactical Devils, and with me tonight I have these two guys. Look at them, stunning guys. Yes, and we have a lot of people who have tuned in. Stu, you are on mute. Yes,
I was. I just realised I muted myself. Yeah. Schoolboy error, but these things happen.
Always with the bloopers early on in the show. Oh,
yes,
that's most likely me. I just want to say hi to everybody tuned in before we say hi to the panel. There's Stu G is in the house. Big up Stu, Whoops, Danny B. We have Catherine Non-Nonsense McDade coming in and on time. Jarvis laughing. Big up, Catherine. Wootinator is coming in. Big up, evening, all evening. Wootinator, good to see you, one of our loyal moderators. And let's see who else is here. Well, not many people have tuned in already. We have had some issues with the notifications. People don't seem to get notifications. So if you think you have notifications on, just double check and see if that bell is active. So first of all, I want to say hi to Mark. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm good. I've had a bit of a up and down week. So went out the FA Cup on Thursday night, unfortunately. The boys didn't turn up first half, and then second half absolutely battered them. Missed a penalty. Goalkeeper tips one in out the top corner, hits the crossbar, goes over the line, and the ref doesn't catch it. But we pick it up on the video afterwards on the VO. It was just one of those days. And then first league game, we rise up and go and win that convincingly. So up and down. That's what football's all about. But
yeah. Okay. So which round of the cup are we talking about?
So it's the first round of the FA Youth Cup. So it starts at county level. And you get all the Isthmian teams. And unfortunately, it's something I don't agree with, that you can have a county level team, an Isthmian level team, both at 18, both in. So if you have them at one club, only one of them can enter. We have Isthmian players, which is just a higher level. It's a bit like the JPL league at the younger. You can have a higher level of players at 18. but they can't play for you in your county cup. They have to play for the better club for their own progression, which is fair enough. But it means we're 6 players short of our starting 11, spread between 5 other teams. And then as a kicker, only one of those teams went through. So it was like we could have had all those players and we would have gone through because we beat the team in pre-season that we were playing, and it was just long ball, windy night, kick and chase, and we hated it. We tried to play football and it just didn't happen on the night.
Oh, so, okay.
But yeah, it's the first round. You go about the 4th round's when league clubs tend to come in. So, and the 5th round will be your Premier League clubs.
Yeah, well, that's football. My team, the boys, we had the game tonight, every Monday night and Monday evening, and we ended with a draw, 9-9.
Oh, nice.
9-9.
Nice, nothing wrong with that.
Well, we can't win them all.
He's thinking it should have been 9-8.
What was the how did the score ratio end up then? Were you winning 4-1, 5-1?
No, we were down 5-3 at halftime. So the boys did well. Full effort, I can't complain. Always great effort. And also, at that age, I think it's good when you meet some good opposition. You learn a lot. A lot of these boys was almost crying at halftime. Everything was going bad, and we had a long chat. Talked to them. I said, relax, just have fun, and I know you're good enough. And then they came out in the second half and actually played really well. And we could have won it. We had one in the post right before the ref blew the whistle. But at the end of the day, it's 8 years. It's 9 years old.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter with the result.
I
love the effort. The effort.
Well, exactly. The result does matter because they were down and it finished as a draw, and they didn't give up because
character building.
They came back. So given 5 more minutes, they might have won it. But that's what you want.
So, Stu, have you been any games with Tipton? No.
Well, we played a couple of games already this season. We played at the weekend. Unfortunately, the skipper, yours truly, wasn't available because of holiday, and we ended up in a bit of a tanking. To be honest, they got turned over 6-1. So obviously, I claimed if I'd been there, we would have won 6-1, as you do. But no, we played a really good outfit. Load of ex-pros in there. Bello played as well for them. He's the record holder, by the way, in non-league football scoring. Absolutely phenomenal striker. So he played against us, and so they got a bit of a kick in. But with a week out, we haven't got a game this weekend coming in, and we're back away to Pershore Town in a couple of weeks. So I'm really looking forward to that. But in other news, I did, last season I kind of was asked to play for Worcester City County. So I've kind of been asked to play again. So I might do that this season. So play for Tipton and Worcester. But Worcester's a bit more travelling because you play nationwide, as opposed to Tipton. We just play within the Worcestershire League area.
Should a man of your age play for 2 teams? Isn't that a little bit too much?
He's fine, Jarvis. He's got a simmer frame.
Yes, a few people have said should you be doing that, and but to be honest, Worcester wouldn't take precedent over Tipton, so Tipton takes precedent, and if there happens to be a game that Saturday afternoon or whatever, then I'll play for Tipton anyway rather than Worcester. But I mean, there are some perks to playing for the county. A lot of perks. So we shall see. I've made up my mind. Yeah, I said I'd go along with.
They have a younger physio.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's hope so. No, I'll go along and do a bit of. I might go to a training session or 2 and just see a couple of our lads who play for Tipton play for Worcester. A couple of them play for England as well, non-league England. So I suppose if I could use Worcester as a stepping stone to get to England, then it's worth it. But I don't know. No. I haven't decided. It's just something I was asked to do again. So we shall see. we shall see. But apart from that,
I say go for it, Stu. Go for it. Play as many minutes as you can. You know, it's.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'll be back up Wednesday night, giving it the big one. As you do, open age group on a Wednesday. I absolutely love it. Love open age group, especially when you've got 18-year-olds playing against you. Teach them a thing or two about football.
Yes, that's the way. The mentality of the game.
Yes.
I just want
to. Trev's in straight away. He's absolutely right. I was asked to play for Worcestershire Sauce, not Worcester. Unfortunately, he's telling
Worcestershire Sauce.
Trev, that was superb, pal. Superb.
Okay, guys, girls, please help us out. We need you guys to actually go to X and give us a share, because people don't get their notifications anymore. I don't know what happened to YouTube. There are some new updates. Something is wrong. We only had less than 200 views on yesterday's show. We usually do a 1,500 to 2,000, 2,005. So something is definitely going wrong. So I need you guys to help us out, as you did in the first place when we first begun this channel with zero viewers. We have a super chat from Jonathan, the legend, Swedish Liljenberg, coming in with this 20 Swedish kroners, saying, "Hi legends, Onana was the best goalkeeper for Inter."
There's only, if he played for Inter, and I'm hoping he played for Inter, not Napoli, the Italian great, Sir Walter Zenga.
Well, how about Jan Sommer?
He's all right. He's okay, Sonner. I think Zenga was his hairstyle.
No, I'm saying Sommer over Onana.
Oh, Sommer, yeah. It's Sonner, isn't it? Is it Sonner or Sommer? Sonner. Yeah. Anyway, better than Onana, yeah. But I'm pretty sure the legendary Walter Zenga would have a lot to say about that.
Yes. What about Dino Soff?
No, Soff. Yeah, no, Dino Soff.
Where did he play? Was it Juventus or Milan?
I can't remember where he was off play for. I'm going to go for Juventus. Please tell us in the chat, guys. Johnny K, you're in the house. You definitely know who Dino's off played for.
But anyway, thank you, Jonathan Liljenberg, for the super chat. Always.
And what about Julio Cesar, the Brazilian goalkeeper?
Yeah, he was that was Inter. Yeah.
Now
we're talking mid 90s. So
we're talking one of the best Brazilian teams, and he was the goalkeeper for him.
Yeah, and don't forget Taffarel. I'm sure he played for AC Milan, didn't he?
He played for AC Milan, yeah.
Yeah, Dida played for AC Milan, Brazilian keeper as well. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? You know, Brazil had the best outfield, and they had shite keepers.
Yeah.
Until Alisson and Ederson came along, and now they got two of the world's best, or did have two of the world's best. I think Ederson's probably past his sell by date now.
Yeah. It's funny we talking about goalkeepers, because the Onana thing, as Jonathan is mentioning, we need to address it. We need to talk a little bit more about it. We talked about it yesterday, but he's going to Trabzonspor, or what's this?
Trabzonspor, yeah.
Trabzonspor. Yeah.
It's been. I think it's been. What do you call it, hasn't it? Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, and apparently, according to the reports, he will actually earn more playing for the Turkish club than
with his bonuses,
because of sign-ons and bonuses.
Tax. And signing on fee. Yeah, he'll make money. Amazing.
But if you were in Onana's shoes, do you think he made the right choice? You answered this yesterday, Stu, but Mark
did.
He has to play, because otherwise he's risking his chance of not being in the African nations. Or are they qualified for the World Cup?
We're going through qualification now, aren't we, for the World Cup?
Yeah. So no, but do you know what I mean? Are they like? Most African teams, they're qualified.
They're likely to go through, aren't they, Cameroon?
Yeah, so that's what he's got to be looking at. His playing time, and same as what we spoke about last week or the week before regarding Mainu. It's the same scenario. It's just as a goalkeeper, he's got to go get his minutes. but he's not going to. I think he's going to be crap there, personally. But it's the right thing. He's not given up, sat on the bench. He's gone out and he's got minutes, and that's all you can ask of a footballer. So it says he wants to play. I was quite surprised, really, for a Turkish team brought Onana and didn't come in for the actual Turkish number 2.
Yeah.
So that was more of my thing.
Well, could we actually see Bayındır also go in this window before it ends?
No, because it would leave us with only Heaton.
Yeah. Well, we definitely have some academy goalkeepers. The third goalkeeper.
We've got me in the academy, but he's quite short. And because obviously, in my eyes, the best goalkeeper's out on loan. So
we've got nobody coming through. Yeah, we've got nobody coming through that can go into the first team if Lamons.
Well, his name's ironic, really, isn't it? If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. We've got to make the best of him. And I sort of said to Jarvis I wanted to speak on him anyway, but I am concerned of the fan base expecting too much of him. We did it with David De Gea. He came in. He wasn't great first off. People were calling for his head at 18 years of age. This guy has not had one international cap, senior international cap. Obviously, he's played at other levels. So it's quite funny when you listen to you spoke yesterday a lot about Michael Owen's comments. What did he say about players playing for their clubs and getting experience from the youth level, but actually getting first team experience? Well, he's gone and got that by staying in Belgium, whereas our young English keepers don't tend to get it. Trafford's has now just screwed his England career by going back to Man City. Is a prime example of that.
Yeah, he should never have gone.
Now Trafford can't go on loan. He's going to be the number 2, and he's probably not going to get picked for England now. He's just absolutely, and everyone said that he was unlikely to be the number 1 choice for Man City.
Who is the number 1 choice for England right now? Is it Henderson or?
No.
In my eyes, if I was picking, Dean Henderson deserves his chance for what he's doing for Crystal Palace, and he's higher up the league than Everton on average. So why wouldn't he have the chance? But Pickford's always done this. Well, I'm sorry, we've always lost in finals, so surely we should get rid of all the players. And Michael Owen's right. Pick players from the youth team that win finals. It's quite it's a debate that will rage on. I think Johnny put it in the chat or in our chat. It is what Germany did, and it is what Spain did. They went back to the drawing board and said, no, we need to start playing our national players constantly and stop bringing in so many foreign players. The problem is, as the Bayern Munich chairman has said, the Premier League's breaking football. 3.5 billion spent on players, and we can't get any of our youngsters in. And if we do, we've got to pay 100 million for Adam Wharton. Just to get him to move to another English club. It's wrong. It's what stops people from buying that talent. And tonight, Job Bellingham has scored for the under-21s. And he's gone to Dortmund to progress his career. Could have stayed and be playing in the Premier League, but he's gone to Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
Some might look at that as a weird move. I said it when Bellingham went. I think it's a great move. Germany look after you. They will progress you through, give you minutes and play you. Pickford's done nothing wrong for England, but all the other English goalkeepers up until halfway through last season weren't playing first team football. Henderson only got back in the team because Sam Johnson was injured.
Yeah.
And Sam Johnson wasn't being picked for England. So, and then Dean Henderson really has done a job for him. He was a great keeper for us. He obviously had a falling out with the manager, and his attitude absolutely stunk, because of what he said. I can't. You can look at a player and think he's a great player, but there's other sides to being a professional footballer, and you can't speak like he did, no matter how angry you are in an interview. But he's earned his place on merit, and I think he should probably stay in goal.
Yeah.
But
I have to be honest when it comes to the Henderson comments. I see it as when you're youthful and you want to play, you do dumb stuff like that sometimes, and I think maybe we were too harsh. Maybe we should have just given him the benefit of the doubt, and
he didn't want the benefit of the doubt. He wanted number one or I leave. That's pretty much what he said. Hayes had a bad season. Put me as number one when I come back off loan, or I want to leave the club. But, I can't remember the exact comments, but that's what they said. But what's it done for his career? Well, actually, with his confidence, he's taken that and he's grown from it. And there's nothing wrong with backing yourself. Like I say, there's a wrong way of saying it sometimes, and depending on your age, that's always going to happen. Jesus Christ, I say wrong things at work all the time, and I'm in my 40s. Do you know what I mean? It's like I shouldn't have said that, but at least I was honest. But yeah, when we go back to Le Mans at 23, he's going to come in. I loved what Stepney said to him. I came in at 23. My first game was Man City. We won 1-0. Great comments, but let's be realistic. The City, but he has to play against, and the City, but Le Mans will be playing against is chalk and cheese, really, in the ability in this day and age, isn't it? So it's on us. It's on us to back him. If a ball goes in, we've got to cheer him. We've got to keep going. If he makes a mistake or he comes through a cross and misses it because he's not used to the speed of the ball, we've got to back our goalkeeper for him to get better. And in past, when I go back, I was going to do a show on goalkeepers, and I went back and I looked for all the Onana stuff. We're all slating him now, but we were all backing him as a well beater because when we bought him, we turned on him too fast. Like Onana, fair enough. Like he made mistake after mistake, but actually, when you go back through a lot of our transfers, we back every single player, and we turn on them. Where actually, keep backing them, because what do you do on the football pitch, Stu, to a young player? Get your head up, go again. Just don't make the same mistake again. And it seems something that stopped in the fan base, not just in Manchester United. I'm talking in fan bases. They're just like, just sign someone else. And it's playing Championship Manager, Football Manager, call it what you want. Or we just sign someone else. Well, actually, you can't. Transfer window's shut. Onana's now on loan. We have to back him, and we have to give him the full confidence.
Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately, that's not how the world works, sorry, Stu. But we know that Lamens, he needs to perform right away. If you have 3 bad games in a row, if he makes a mistake in the first half he plays, people will start asking questions.
But they don't want Bayındır back in goal.
We know we have a very loud minority in this fan base that actually can persuade the majority.
And that's sort of who I'm appealing to by saying that. It's like, come on, guys. Like, if you don't want Bayındır right now and we've got a keeper come in, you can't be getting on this keeper's back if he makes a few mistakes, because then you're back to Bayındır and you're just going to be slagging every keeper off for making mistakes. And if they have to keep changing them, they're never going to get better.
Yeah, it's true. 100%. I just want to say hi to Mr. B. We have Yalim Almin. A lot of the legends have tuned in. Day 147. A lot of good comments from Johnny Kermode. Yalim Almin says, what's going on with Sweden? They got some of the best strikers in the world, and they scored 0 and lose 2-0 against Kosovo. And Sweden, I watched Sweden the other day when they played. I think they drew 1-1 against Slovenia, and Sweden weren't impressive. The only guy who was half decent was actually Ayari, the guy. Is he Bournemouth? No, Brighton midfielder, Ayari.
Yeah, right midfielder. Yeah.
But they have a strong team. Gyökeres, Selanga. They have Hien, the midfielder that plays for Lazio. They have obviously the Liverpool guy.
They got Mr. Isak, haven't they?
Isak, yeah. So they have a lot of good players, but it happens.
Isak keeps Gyökeres out from starting sometimes, doesn't he? So people say he's got Gyökeres, but that's one of the reasons why I was against him, because he's not even a starter for his country.
Yeah, Isak's been on the bench. So he was on the bench, wasn't he, the other day?
Yeah, he hasn't been playing, has he? So.
Yeah, Gyökeres started, didn't he? Yeah. Be interesting. But anyway, who cares about Sweden? Who cares?
Switzerland, they are Sweden are playing against Switzerland because they are leading Group 9 with 9
Really?
points. So they
9
are up
points.
against each other in the next game. So it will be interesting to see for all the Swedes and Swiss people out there. I just want to say this before we move on. I will share the X link. So please do us a favor, press this link, go to X and share the show, because we are running simultaneously on X. 123 people watching at the moment, 70 on X, but we need more viewers, because I think YouTube is not sending out notifications as they should. You know, it's not a crowded full house as we used to have on Monday nights. So, and DJ Superfly coming in, Superfly guy, hi all, and the panel, big up DJ. So 34 likes, please smash the like. Let's talk a little bit about the main topic of the evening. It's about Casemiro. His contract is ending after the season. He's on high wages. I think we're talking about 18 million pounds ish, maybe more.
Yeah, he's one of the highest earners, isn't he? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously we're not renewing his contract. I don't think so. He will be. Well, maybe if he goes down in salary, let's say he goes down to 100K a week, we could consider if we renegotiate his contract. And but I think it's time when it comes to Casemiro. And a lot of the Brazilian clubs, Palmeiras, Flamengo, São Paulo, and the Saudi clubs are after Casemiro. So do you think it's a where would be a wise move for him to go? Is it Brazil or Saudi? Do we have enough money?
If he wants to make the money, if he wants money, he'll go to Saudi Arabia. But if we've got any sense, we'll extend his contract by 12 months. Anyway, the same with what they'll do with Sancho. They'll extend Sancho's contract by 12 months, stop him going on a free, and try and get some monetary value from him, because the outlay that we pushed into.
But when we do that, Stu, we lose 50% because it's written in his contract that he gets half the money we take for him.
Yeah, I know, but we've got to get. Otherwise, he goes on a free anyway, doesn't he? So either way, 50% is better than zero. The problem.
Well, then we get 18 million for that year.
Yeah, but the problem we've got. The problem we got with the likes of Casemiro is his resale value is zip. There isn't a resale value. There's no resale value with Jadon Sancho. There's very little resale value at this point in time with Marcus Rashford. And so when we look at the business that we've done with the so-called bomb squad, still makes no sense to me, that name, but there you go. Then there is no resale value anyway. So, I read somewhere the other day that Anthony, for whatever reason, declined a 4 million salary increase to sign for Betis, elected not to go to wherever it was. Yeah, Bayern for 7 million a year and went for 3 million a year at Betis. I mean, okay, he wanted to play football. He made his mind up. We wanted to go to Betis, fair enough. But, our buying and our financial practice over the last 5, 6, 7 years has been woeful. And we're in this red, this black hole, or in the red black hole, whatever you want to call it, for a reason. And that is bankers who you would consider to be financially astute, to being financial morons. So no wonder the banks, went under back in 2007 with the big American housing crash, because they were betting against everything and doing everything for their own pockets.
So, Stu, how much do you think Casemiro is worth if we extend his salary, his thing by a year?
If you extend him by a year, you may get 20 million for him. You may net.
He's got an 18 million pound.
You may net 2 million. You may net 2 million. You may net 4. So
you let him go and you save 80 million on your profit and loss sheet instantly by not having to pay, build that 18 million into your yearly figures on the 1st of July.
But it's bad business practice. Either way, what we've done with Casemiro is bad business practice. That's how Man United work. Yeah, we let more players go on a free than we sell. Yeah, there's no winner on this one. At all, whether you extend his contract or not. So it would make sense to extend his contract. That's the game to go watch, by the way, guys. There's even an own goal near the end. 9-goal thriller, Israel, Italy. But ultimately, if he goes to Brazil, He'll just take whatever.
I think it's down to his wife at the end of the day. He's got a little girl, or is it a little boy? Oh, he's got both, hasn't he? He's got one of each. But I think he's the youngest. Do you want? They're still at school. Will you want to school them in Brazil? Probably not. School them in Saudi and take the money if it's there. Would be I agree with Stu, is the obvious choice. But Brazil's just like, that's just where they go back, play in Saudi, half hour every game. Maybe even MLS. MLS.
He might go out there, but like you say, the problem with Casemiro is kids are quite young. So in their schooling cycle, it's not brilliant to move them at any kind of stretch. So if I was Casemiro's agent, I'd be looking for that extended contract, 12 months.
I don't think that's coming, because think about what you guys said last night on your thing about.
I don't think it'll come. I don't think it'll come. Yeah, but that's what I would do.
Yeah, Batman makes a good point. You say if Casemiro wanted to go to Saudi, he'd been on board by now, But I don't think he fancies it. He wants to take his family home to Brazil, and maybe he wants to go back to São Paulo or.
But he could have gone. The thing is, Jarvis, Casemiro could have gone back to Brazil at any time in the last 2 years. Anytime he wants. He's that player.
Actually put an offer on actually into the club. There's always talk. It's always this, because people are trying to create a story to get Casemiro out, and he's constantly coming out and saying, "No, I love Man United. I don't want to leave Man United." So we hear all of these rumours, but the players.
I don't think it's even that, Mark. I don't think it's even that, Mark. Casemiro is revered as much as Dunga is, and as Ronaldo is. Yeah. Rivaldo, Ronaldinho. So going back to Brazil, he can just pick up the phone. Flamengo, I want to come home. Yeah, no problem. We'll do a deal for you. It's when you look at the issues that Neymar had, picks up the phone, got a contract at Santos or wherever it was, and they just took him home. Casemiro's in that break. If he wanted to go back to Brazil, he could have done that 12 months ago, 2 years ago. It really is.
18 million behind.
Yeah, exactly. It really is a pickup of the phone.
And he's done his job for us. Whenever you put him in, you can't say he doesn't work hard, he doesn't thrive. He literally gives you everything on the pitch. It may not be good enough, but that's what I mean. Like, I would still play Casemiro every week because I know he will give us everything. It may not be good enough, but there's how many times over the last 5 years have we said they're not giving us enough? They're not working hard enough. Where Casemiro is, Jesus Christ, I wish you were 10 years younger. Do you know what I mean? Especially right now.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, but I think his agent will push for an extension. I really do. Big up, Sean. I think his agent will push. If his agent's got any balls, he'll push for the option, because normally there's always an option attached to a contract. Look, if he goes in the summer, I wish him all the best. As Mark says, if he goes on a free, we save 18 million quid. If we option it, we get 20 million for him. We net 2 million quid's neither in or there in football terms. Nor's 4, Nor's 5. It's neither in or there. So you're not going to make a huge amount of money on him. An interesting thing for me is, does he want to continue to play football? Will Ancelotti pick him if he's in Saudi Arabia, or if he's in Brazil, or if he's in the MLS? Will he get picked? Does he stay in the UK if he's settled in the UK? Does he go and sign for somebody like Burnley, or somewhere in the Northwest, or somewhere in the Midlands, somewhere like that? There are options for him. Does he go back to Madrid and base himself out of Madrid, where his family knows, because he was there for 10 years, something along that.
He owns a lot of stuff in Madrid.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's got so many options. I think for him, it really depends on where his passion for football lies. But I really do think he would have gone back to Brazil already if he wanted to, because he's got that stature.
The report is saying that Brazilian giants eye Casemiro's return. That Casemiro's Manchester United contract runs until mid-2026 next summer, but we have a chance to extend the contract one more year. Well, I don't think we will. The 33-year-old has recovered from a difficult campaign last season, but according to a Brazilian journalist, Jorge Nicola, he's a reporter for Sport Witness. He said the clubs as Flamengo, Palmeiras are closely monitoring the situation, and Sao Paulo was the club that he he developed.
Yeah, I don't know where he was born actually.
Real Madrid.
Yeah, no,
So Sao Paulo is his.
Oh, I didn't realise
boyhood
which.
club.
I didn't realise which side of the country he lived. Look, I wish him all the best. I've got no issues with Casemiro. He came to Manchester United at the wrong time. He didn't have Kruna. He didn't have Modric. So he came at the wrong time, unfortunately. Fantastic footballer. He came for big money. He was on big money at Real Madrid. He came for big money at Manchester United. Yeah, I wish him all the best, whatever he feels. I do wish him all the best.
Yeah. But
you can't say a bad word about Casemiro. He's one of the greatest holding midfield. He's there with Makelele, and people like that in that position as the all-time best players.
I think so.
We bought a declined player. We've got a history of doing that. We did it with Matic. We've done it with Pogba. There's plenty of players you could name over the last 12, 15 years we bought in the decline since Ferguson has left. And they're all world-class players, but just weren't good enough, So, if you went back to Sao Paulo, I think that's perfect. You finished your career where you started your career. I think he played over 100 games for Sao Paulo before he went to Madrid. So,
the interesting thing for us is we do forget Casemiro's value to the mighty UK pounds. His value to the mighty UK pound in terms of his shirt sales, in terms of his marketing for the club, is absolutely fucking huge. It's immense.
Yeah.
And that's money coming out of Brazil, money coming out of Madrid, and shirt sales. He's high on the shirt sale list. So you are Manchester United, when they're extending his option, will look at the value that he brings in. We've got
Cunha now. That's the thing. We have got.
They do this with certain players, not all players, but certain.
Jemba, Anderson, Rafael, and Felipe, the Silvers.
Interesting enough, Mark.
Anderson.
Anderson is hugely well respected for his Manchester United career, and he made a lot of money, extra money, based on his name when he was playing. Out in Brazil. But there are certain players, that doesn't come into consideration with. At this point in time, you wouldn't consider Dorgu. You wouldn't probably consider Mbeumo, you would, for the Cameroonian sales and the Cameroonian shirts. I think you're right with Cunha, Mark. I totally agree with you, pal. But Casemiro is probably would still edge Cunha.
Oh, no, absolutely. But I'm just saying, so it is someone who could potentially be breaking in. Because you think the Neymars are now coming out of that Brazilian squad. So, who's he up against? Richarlison from Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? As out-and-out strikers to go with.
It is true. It is very, very true. And, years ago, when you look at our purchases of players, they were hugely strategic. There was a reason, that we had Jason Park in the team.
Well, Ferguson would have bought Thingy from Tottenham. Well, he's not at Tottenham now. He's at LA Galaxy. Son. Ferguson would have easily have bought him. He's the greatest player in there. He's good enough.
Exactly.
Career.
And we would have made tons of money off of Son. And they do.
But it was the best player from that country.
Totally agree.
It ticked all the boxes rather than.
And so Manchester United might look at it, guys, and say his commercial value to the club is quite strong. It will remain quite strong, and we might want an extra 12 months of commercial value. You can't actually rule commercial value out of for a player. He's got that je ne sais quoi for Brazil, hasn't he? I'm not saying it's true, but Manchester United shirt sales are huge, and just look at the money Ronaldo made us on the second
in one day.
On the second. Sean, in the UK, it really does, fella. I'm sorry to tell you, it really does in the UK. It's a hell of a lot.
It's a hell of a lot of revenue, but to the club, it's I've done this. I think it's 4% of the shirt sale goes to the club.
Yeah. But what they do, don't forget, they look at it as per value per player. So
that's why they do it. It's
so they will look at
way of doing it. It's not actually
nuts. It's nuts. And this is why in the UK, image rights are negotiated. And one of the biggest stumbling blocks in UK football is image rights. You know, I can tell you now.
Your social media accounts.
I can tell you for nothing that one of the negotiation rights when Jude Anjo went to Dortmund was their image rights. He knows the fact that their agents know the value of what they can do in terms of sales. And the other thing is whether it's worth a lot to the club on the overall expense. Casemiro might bring in £3 million a year.
All the other stuff
takes it off his salary. Casemiro's salary is no longer 18 million a year. It's 16 million a year or 15 million a year or whatever he brings in. And that's how it's done. That's how it's done in the UK. I tend to get it. I've got no problems with, I'm not just talking about shirt sales. I'm talking about commercial value as an entity, as an individual. Shirt sales is one of the things that brings it, that brings it in.
But it also gives value for the sponsorship. So it would be easier to get good sponsors if we give them good valuation for the money. So
I think the best one to understand shirt sponsor, image rights to sponsorship is if you guys ever look into Ronaldo at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Nike, and they wanted him in
perpetuity.
The photos were he had to be in it with someone else so that other person could show the Adidas logo on their kit, but Ronaldo would always be at an angle. So instead of seeing that, you would only see this. Do you see what I mean? His arms would be back or whatever he would be doing. So no Adidas logos. A ball would be on his thigh where the Adidas logo is. That's image rights, and that's controlling it to the max. You get the maximum exposure, but not advertising the rival brand. Yeah. So that's where it really comes into it. And that's a great deal for both parties, and they're like, we can work with that.
Like I say, the image rights are worth more than people realise. They always are, and you're right about that. There's very few players. Okay, there's very few players that actually have boot deals in perpetuity. Ronaldo's one, Zidane is one, Beckham's one. There's not many out there that have them.
No, Jude Bellingham's now got one with Adidas where he's got his own branded boot.
He's got a perpetuity deal. Yeah, he's got a perpetuity deal. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can't think of many people. Trent did at one point with New Balance, but then he moved to Adidas, and
he did, didn't he? Yeah, it was an interesting. That was an interesting.
New Beckham
sketches with Kane will use Kane as the face, and it just happens. Look. So it could well be that he gets his contract extension based on a variety of different things that we don't know about, and he might have something in his contract actually that suggests he's got to be offered.
Bath time. This is complete sponsorship. The reverse. Ronaldo tanking $1 billion off of Coke because he took it off of the drink water.
Yeah, we all remember the Euros.
It would have been better if it was a Pepsi bottle because obviously Messi's the Pepsi front man, isn't it? That would have been better.
Yeah, the skit or the rumor or the meme was that as soon as the CEO of Coke saw him do it, he went upstairs to his apartment, put a gun to his head because he knew exactly what was going to happen. And this is the thing, and it's unbelievable. Ronaldinho today shows certain elements. Nike still show certain, even though they were CGI, a lot of them, by the way, weren't they? They were. Even admitted it was CGI, didn't he, Ronaldinho? Although he did say, I did do the take. They did well, but you got these certain players. I'm not saying Casemiro is it, but to the value for Brazil in terms of people in Brazil to the UK. Anyway. Who knows?
Guys, I just want to bring this to a segue because we had this debate for a little bit too long. I just want to go through because I want us to have a good time for the Q&A afterwards because we had to skip the Q&A so many times now in a row. So the segue is the Manchester City, and this came out, Mike Keegan, today. Let me bring it up for you guys, and we can have a little chat because I know you have a lot of knowledge when it comes to sponsorship deals, and Manchester City has had a. Let's just bring this down, and I will read it for you. Premier League settled row with Manchester City. Club withdraw legal actions with Etihad deal that have been blocked. Now set to go through and recognize rules as valid and binding. So I don't know if you guys are legal experts, but can some of you just dumb it down, break it down for old Jarvis?
Basically, we tried to slow down the other court case by putting a counter sue in, and they now have to accept that they knew they were in the wrong. That's all it was. They knew they didn't have a leg to stand on, but by asking the question, it might have helped other aspects of the 115. That's all this was, because it's like, if you pass this or we win this case, then the 115 or parts of it won't stand up in court, because we now has precedent that you've accepted this. That's normally how it works. My eldest daughter is in law, but that's why you get. It's basically, you hear it on TV, you watch films. I'll counter sue you. I'll counter this. I'll counter that. It's all to do with time. It's all about dragging it out as long as possible. And this has all got to be done before they give the answers in the right order. Does that make sense? So this is a small, quick win. There was the other one, wasn't there? What was the other one for, Stu? Can you remember? About 6 months
I've lost track, to be honest.
It was a small nothing deal, which Man City won.
What apparently, but the Premier League claimed they won as well. Or one of them. Yeah, I can't quite.
They both claim they won it.
Yeah,
they both claim they won, or something like that. But it's basically, it's just trying to slow down so they could spend money, which they've gone and done this summer, ironically. And then the answers will come out, and they get a transfer embargo most likely, and a fine and points deduction. What's that mean when you've already got all your players in?
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, Mark. I think it's too murky to come to a real conclusion. I'm with you on it. I agree. I think it's too murky to give a real conclusion or real kind of answered thought on this one, because I agree. I think the 115 charges are separate. The Premier League have come out and said it's separate. This is a completely different.
It's separate, but what they're looking at is
try and slow
hiding the finances of a deal, like inflating, or you can't have this sponsorship with this because they're all one country owned state.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we all believe, because we don't honestly know the 115 charges or how they've been structured, but we were all of the understanding it was based around fraudulent money claims. So that's what this sort of was looking at. And you can see if they won it after the Premier League is saying that's not correct and you're going against our rules, and we've changed the rules since, then they would have a way of going, well, hang on, you've changed the rules, we won that case. It would just give that thingy of doubt to try and get something past.
I mean, the interesting thing for me about, or PSR or whatever you want to call it, and this particular deal about sponsorships and that, kind of, it's all moot now anyway. Liverpool have gone and spent £500 million this summer. They had the money. They didn't buy anyone last summer. They got the money. So let's be clear. Liverpool have done nothing wrong. They saved the money and they spent it. But they've gone and spent £500 million.
They've got half of that back in sales.
Exactly. And you can't do any more. The maximum I think you could ever spend in a transfer window is £500 million, and Liverpool approved it. You can't go any higher. So if the Premier League can swallow this outlay that Liverpool had done, then what can City and really what can City and what can Newcastle do now that will actually surpass what Liverpool have done? Because if you look at the assets that we actually have in the Premier League and the assets that are out there in other leagues, the really only player that really Real Madrid are likely to want to get hold of, or if Haaland was at Real Madrid, would be Haaland. He's the only one that's got some kind of a marketable asset over 200 million quid.
It is, but this thing with the Man City wasn't about that. This is like,
no, it wasn't.
United would have benefited from City winning this court case. If
City we all would
have. Case, Man City say that basically you can get this deal, you can get that deal. Well, Man United probably own the most assets in all of the Premier League. Around everything. They could go off, sell this hotel, that hotel, a bit like Chelsea have done. But they, instead of selling the hotel, we'd be able to sell the land for them to do it for $500 million, and you're making an absolute fortune.
Yeah.
And Newcastle, who have not very big sponsors currently, would be able to go in and get all this state funding. Their PSR would drop through the floor, and they'd be able to spend as much money as they liked.
But my
because
point
all
is,
the money would come in as a yearly deal or 6 monthly deal.
I get
through
that.
the hotels. And
I get that. But who do you buy? My point being that there's nobody out there that I don't think you would ever generate £500 million again. For me, transfer fees are falling. Liverpool, for whatever reason, have decided to spend 200 and, am I right, 50 million, 130 each or something like that for Verts and, whatever.
Yeah, 130 for 90 something for TK, 115 for Isak, I think it was,
or whatever he was. So
plus
I
with
just
money to come on them.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually don't think whether or not PSR existed, it would actually it would hurt anybody anymore. And I guess that's what I'm getting at, because who out there, seriously, when you look across the landscape of football today, who out there could you spend £500 million on? I just don't see it anymore. I see Haaland maybe as that player. Maybe Lamine Yamal, but again, is anyone really going to push over 200 million as a club?
No, you've got to look at the landscape moving as well, because
I said years ago, Mark, and I stand by this, I thought nobody, and I do think nobody will ever surpass 196 million that PSG paid Barcelona. And I said at the time, and Jarvis will I'll remind Jarvis this, that he will never be sold again, Neymar, ever. Because not only do you get 196 mil, Mark, and you know this because you're a smart man, you are going to need.
Mbappe did.
We didn't, did he? He went on a free.
But you know what I mean by that. He may have gone on the free, but the deal was agreed and didn't go through because of whatever happened between the clubs. So
but he ended up on the free.
It was only going to be a PSG player that could move.
And to be honest, Mark, would you have pushed at that particular time? Would you pay that money for Mbappe? I don't think you would, mate. You're more sensible than that. So I think Neymar's going to be your peak. We both know that we all know, don't we? If Messi had come up on the market around that time, we know, and that's a one-off in my opinion. So Jarvis, I think what you're saying about Lamine Yamal, he could be that unique unicorn. That might
just... He comes to the Premier League and someone snaps his leg and then see how good he is.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you're right. And I think clubs have realised that there are some kind of strange prices going on at the minute. I think Isak, 100. I'm not quite sure what Isak was, Mark. I thought he was 130, but I'm not quite sure. It doesn't really matter.
I don't know. I lose track of what they are.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway.
And some people do it with add-ons, some do it without the addons.
Yeah,
so I was around 150 to 130. There you go.
Yeah, so maybe that's fair, but some people might say 100 plus. I think we all agree that Florian Wirtz at this point in time isn't quite worth it. Kane never went anywhere near 120 mil, did he? He went for, was it 80 to Bayern? Something along that. Yeah, so he didn't even go to.
Yeah, he's close to a Premier League side, another Premier League side. You were looking at 150 million.
Yeah, potentially, or maybe 120.
So they were used to selling.
I actually think your cutoff is likely to be 150. I don't see anyone ever surpassing, and I don't want anyone to surpass, that stupid amount of money. The interesting thing was at that time, Mark, if you remember, in Jarvis, Coutinho was a very good footballer. Oh, God. We were all looking at who the hell did he get sold for 146 million quid?
Have you ever seen him after he got sold for that money?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. These players.
I sort of agree with what you're saying, but the thing I believe is
it's just broad. It's just a broad
thought
process.
I think you're right, but there is a big thing currently happening. The NFL done it this week, where obviously we all know they come to London. They started the Chiefs game was in Brazil this weekend. For opening game, it's down in Brazil.
Was it in Brazil? Was it?
Yeah, so they're starting to move more and more games around the world. And we saw the Barcelona Copa del Rey match was wanting to be played in, or was played in, into Miami.
That was played in Miami. There is a regular season.
Is it a regular game? Was it?
No, there is a regular game going to take part in
Vallecano, or it was one of the V's
somewhere. Yeah.
So they're starting to do it, and if these games do start getting pushed around in international places, this cost is going to push, I think, the player revenue up, because it's no longer. This is where we start moving towards the Super League in a different aspect, right? So if I'm Mbappe and Newcastle want to offer me 200 million, I'm not going to Newcastle to play for 200 million. But if Newcastle don't actually play in Newcastle and they start playing half their games all around the world in these sunny venues, then it's not such an issue.
I see where you're going with that, and I do, and I'm kind of in agreement.
And that's what's going to push the teams when you start cherry picking.
We're kind of in agreement with you on that one. I see a Super League coming. You know, let's forget it. We're not dumb. Nobody's dumb. Nobody's dumb in the chat. Nobody's dumb on this panel. Nobody's dumb who supports football. I've seen it coming. I really, really have seen it coming. But I'm wondering, and I really do take your point, but I'm wondering, these guys, they play all over the world anyway. You know, for country, club and country, Europe for European Cup, World Club Cup, one for the better. They go on tour, and they play all over. So for me, if you're going to have a Super League, okay, and you cannot get relegated, because that was the key criteria, if I'm not mistaken, that you weren't get relegated.
If that's a thing, you create two.
Yeah, but you couldn't get relegated. And yet you were earning maybe 100 million more than, you know, just in the regular league season, and whatever that. Maybe you were getting $1 billion for winning the league, but second place was getting 900 million or something along those lines. Then I see player, not salaries coming down, but I see player values coming down, because you've almost, if you're in that league, whatever, Mark, you're kind of stagnated. Really.
Does the value of the player come down, but the wages go up?
That's well how it will be. That's what I could see happening. The player value will come down, but I think the salaries will go.
You're talking almost the NFL wage structure.
I think that's where
the payment structure.
I think that's where we're going. Yeah, I think that's where we're going with it. So you get a guaranteed lump sum, don't you? If you sign a contract for 100 million, you get
guaranteed over 5. So say you sign a 5-year deal, and you get injured in your first year, you're guaranteed, you sign on the guarantee, and you really don't care about the rest of the money. It's about that upfront money.
Guaranteed
signing bonus and this much money. Some is spread over the course of the contract, some is an instant payment. But it means that if I do get injured, if I am coming closer to, if I'm a quarterback, for instance, so if I'm a striker or a goalkeeper, and there's a chance, but if I injure my arm, I'm not going to play, so therefore I'm going to lose out on a lot of money. Or you know, strikers are obviously taken out by centre backs. It's 1v4. Then there's certain things you don't get. If it's just a muscle strain and you've got it from playing too many games, then you're entitled to money.
You're entitled to money, yeah. So it could well be something like that. I think you're right. 100% there's going to be a Super League, and I've got a feeling that's when the Glazers will either cash in on Manchester United because it's so valuable in that Super League, or they stay, because right now there's no point in them cashing in. But by which time, though, it could be way, way, way too rich for even a Sheikh Jassim, whoever, to come in. I don't know. That'll be interesting, but I'm not really sure anymore, because when did and there is actually a kind of logic where I'm going with this, because Neymar moved from Barcelona to PSG 8 years ago. The actual move itself about 8 years ago, and we've not been anywhere close, have we, to reaching 200 million for him? Not one player has been close. So,
well, you got to say we're sneaking back up.
You're right about the original deal for Mbappe. It was 180
plus add-ons,
186, something along those lines. But he actually went on a free, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
because
calculates.
it turned out he had a fallout. They wouldn't accept the offer. He had a fallout. And said, "Oh, fuck you, then I'll go on a free."
That's exactly right. Turned down 700 million a year, one-off deal to go to Saudi Arabia, didn't he? Within that year, stayed there. I actually really do think that. I think Lamine Yamal is probably the unicorn, lads. I think Jarvis. I think you're absolutely right, pal.
Yes.
Finally,
we came to the conclusion, guys. We have a super chat.
Like
we have a question for Mark.
Yeah, sorry.
It's way over my knowledge, this question, but hopefully Mark knows a thing or two on old kings and who will inherit the throne. It's a question. Hey Mark, do you think Darius actually killed the real Bardia? I don't know.
Hey Mark, do you think Darius
killed
the real? To steal the pen.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not really sure of that. But all I will say, propaganda is history. There's a well-known fact: only the winners write history. Because if you're lost, you weren't alive to be able to say what happened. So,
he's given us 5 goldens, Jarvis. I think you've got to give him the tune. You got to give him the proper tune.
Yes. Give him the tune. Give him the tune.
He's got to have the tune, hasn't he, Mark?
The long one or the short one?
He's got to have the long one. He's got to go 5 goldens here. He's got to. In fact, sorry, Catherine, no nonsense, McDade. He's getting these as well.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so Mark is Googling how.
What's your thoughts on that one then, pal? Good luck on that one.
Well, yeah, I was having a look.
It's something about Persian kings.
Yeah, it goes back to 522 BC.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have a clue. I mean,
it's not something I know about, but normally you hear, or if it's been written by the Greeks, it's normally correct. But like I say, it's who survived, who died, who didn't die.
Here we go. After Cyrus the Great died, his son, whatever,
Cambyses,
the second ruled Persia.
Yeah.
Well, while Cambyses was off conquering Egypt, his brother Bardia, also known as Smerdis, mysteriously vanished from the political scene. Where is the dagger that drive through one's heart?
You can find a lot of stories like that through Egyptian history and things. So it's they all killed each other for power.
Yes.
And when did that stop? Probably still goes on.
Of course, it reminds me of the fabled and all the UK residents and some of you from who come from Europe and further afield will probably have seen, in my opinion, the greatest skit ever in English comedy, the Monty Pythons. And Mark's going to start giggling here when I talk about the Roman Empire scene and his favourite guy, Bickus Dickus, and the guards just trying not to laugh, and his wife, and I can't remember what his wife was. Something like incontinence or incontia, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant. If you don't see that, please, Life of Brian, absolutely hilarious. One of my favorite comedy parts. I think famously John Cleese said they just couldn't film that scene. They said it was just so funny, and the way that the guards laugh, they captured that real. It was real because they just couldn't keep a straight face. Michael Palin with that speech impediment and the way that he portrayed it was absolutely
all of them, just certain little
certain little
traits we all
things.
had. Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I love that one. Good like to say, guys, 146 watching, tons of you on X. Please come across to our YouTube channel and please like and subscribe because we desperately need your help.
Yeah, and double check those notification bells. I had to redo my own. It had moved from all to one of the others. So just double check, go on, click it, maybe even click off and click it back onto all. Because even I didn't get notifications when Jarvis put it up here live.
The bell.
All because we might have missed the show.
Click that bell. Johnny K is free to pop on, I think, Jarvis. Shall I send him? Do we want Johnny K? Do we want
only if he's coming in on dressed up as a Roman now.
You're gonna come as a Roman, yes, Johnny K. I'll send you a link. By the way, two brilliant debates tonight already. You know, International Week throws up nothing but boredom, and you know, we've. I hope the life of Stu would be better. I've got tons of stories to tell you. Tons. Yeah, absolutely.
Could we draw some biblical parallels with the life of Stu, or?
Well, I couldn't divulge. I'd just like to say it's a family show. Can I just point that out first of all? It's a family show. If I start going down on my stories, we'll be cut off completely.
Well, we could say that with all the knowledge around us, we are like the Towers of Babel.
It would, yeah. I'm going to send Johnny K the link. I'm sorry, Johnny.
Send them the link, and I will introduce the next topic while you do that, because you know, I want to go back a little bit to the Casemiro ending his contract, because we have another guy who's also linked to Saudi that came out today, you know, and also the Bruno Fernandes, he declines Saudi offers. That Man United captain had turned down multiple lucrative offers from Saudi Pro League clubs, including Al Hilal, Al Ittihad, and direct approach from Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr.
Yes.
From Cristiano Ronaldo, apparently.
Yes. But that said, he may remain open to a move in 2026. So it could look like both Casemiro and Fernandes is leaving. It frees up a lot of wages, and it frees up 2 spots in the team. So how do we move forward with that? You know, now we can suddenly sign a big name player. We know that we are still linked to Baleba. Talks are still ongoing.
35 million in wages, roughly.
I think we are talking about 2 midfielders, world-class midfielders. So who could the other one be? Is it Wharton? Is it Ederson? No. Is it Hjulman? What are we looking for?
I honestly think it's Hjulman as the other.
What did he say? What did he say, Hjulman, by the way? He came out a couple of days ago, didn't he? And said that, spoke about the approach, didn't he? I didn't see the article, but I did see that he put out a statement.
He mentioned about contact with the club, but obviously it was too late, I think. It was too late.
There was something. He put something out, didn't he? I didn't read it.
Not direct contact, but persons from the intermediate.
Yeah, the intermediaries. Yeah. Everyone's got to get used to this. This is a new way of doing it. The intermediaries is the new how to avoid how to tap up a player without tapping up a player. It's called we send in the intermediaries, and they do all the work, and then they come back to me, and they go back to Jarvis, and they go, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, and you meet in the middle, and then you just put in one bid. We were talking about Saudi, how they do one bid. Man United have always done one bid, haven't they?
Correct. Yeah, correct.
In theory, it is only since our new owners have decided to put really shitty offers in, and we've been wonder why they were getting rejected, because that wasn't what they were expecting from Manchester United.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of. I still don't buy the 55 million plus 5 million add-on for Baleba.
No,
I just don't.
Nor do I, and nor do half the people I know at Brighton's training ground.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that must have come as a big. I tend to agree with the consensus. It's Baleba and another. I think Bruno's run its course at Manchester United anyway. I think he needs a fresh challenge himself. We won't get 100 million for him in the summer, but we'll probably get 50 million, 40 million for him. So we're going to get numbers and money for Bruno.
So I just looked. He's on 14 point something million a year. Plus 18.2 for Casemiro. So if we make that 15 and 18, just to make it nice, easy round figures, 33 million saved straight onto your thing. So that's 33 million of a deal. That's 120 million for a player over 5 years.
Plus 40, because I reckon you get 40 for Bruno in the summer. We're not going to get 100, are we? So I think you get 40 for Bruno. I think you'd go with everybody's blessing, Bruno, but like Casemiro, I don't think there'd be any issues to go with anybody's blessing. Who would you bring in? So I think we all agree Baleba.
I seriously think the midfield two for the next 5, 6, 7 years could easily be Baleba and Hjulman. I just see it working so well together.
I agree with Hjulman, but just tell you who I'd have. Jarvis is going to grin here. I'd go for Sander Berge. I think Berge and Baleba would be fucking amazing together. I really do.
He's too old now. We would never sign.
He falls out of our category. But I think
he's 28, 27 now, 28 next season.
Brilliant alongside Baleba. I think, Mark, you could be right with
27, so he's 28 on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, he won't go. We won't get Berg. We won't get Sander Berge. No, absolutely.
If we did, it would have to be in the January transfer window.
And a short-term contract, 3-year contract, not a 5.
3+1, yeah.
Yeah. But I would like. I think you're probably right with Hjulman, Mark. I'm not so sure about Wharton. I don't think we'll go and spend 200 million on 2 players.
He would have to have this. So funny enough, Baleba is having the season that you don't want him to have right now. We've probably screwed him over.
We fucked him over. Yeah, we fucked him
over. And he needs to sort that out. And if he can't sort that out, then I'm not sure he's the right kind of player for Manchester United, because that shows a weak mentality that he can't focus on his game.
Yeah.
And we've had too many players like that, because think if he's struggling now, think what it's going to be like when he puts the Man United shirt on and every little step he takes on the pitch is scrutinised. Hjulman, he's going to be under scrutiny. He's got an Arsenal tattoo, for God's sake. But he's not going to be the first player to support a different team when playing for Manchester United. So, that's not. I don't have an issue with that.
That's interesting. Wharton and Anderson.
Yeah,
that's an interesting combination. Yeah.
Yeah. But just remember, we're all talking about Mainu being given a chance, and we're talking about replacing both of them.
Well, look, interesting to see. We won't. Yeah. I was going to say we won't comment on what was surmised over the last couple of days by somebody. We won't comment about that. I got the video. I saw the Instagram pictures, and straight away I was like, "That's a dig at someone," because that's a random picture thrown in. It's a dig at someone. Yeah, you've got to know your movies to. I didn't get the movie. I didn't get the movie, but I just so that's a dig at someone. Yeah, he was talking about basically a drum student couldn't ever please his drum coach, however good he was. And ultimately, that's what he's talking about. So, look, let's not get into, like we say, we don't want to surmise, but I saw it as well. But Mainoo's got to prove himself now, guys. And what better way to push Bruno up, potentially, if Cunningham isn't fit on Sunday. Yeah. Although there are rumours that Cunningham might be fit, but I think he's only fit enough for the bench, and put Mainoo in. And you've got to prove yourself, pal. It might be coming in the questions later, but I saw someone put it up there. Basically, who do we think the next player frozen out by the manager will be? We've had the bomb squad on that. And I think I said a couple of weeks ago, you won't see Ugarte barely play for this club now. So I think it might be Rice. I think it'd be Casemiro. It could well be Casemiro, Mainoo, Bruno, Sesko. I'm 100% thinking Sesko starts Sunday, Jarvis, this time. And, would you prefer to see Bruno push forward or Mainoo play that 10 role?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Let Johnny Commode answer that question, because I think we need to introduce him to the show. Guys, this is Johnny Commode. You all know it.
Everyone knows Johnny Gay. Everyone knows this.
He just had his breakfast. Sunny Florida.
Yes.
The temperature is only a mild 30 today.
Yes.
Yeah. It's been overcast today.
Yeah.
Terrible. So what's your take? Casemiro out, Bruno out. What are we going to do with the money? Are we bringing Baleba and one other, or are we keeping Baleba and Mainu in the pivot? And the second question is, if Bruno plays as a 10 in the next game, or should we play Mainu in the 10?
I do agree with what Stu said. I do think, Casemiro, I think, will naturally leave at the end of the season. I can't see us renewing his contract. Bruno, I feel that because we've been so dependent on him, I think that while it would have been more advantageous to take the money from Saudi earlier, maybe the aim is to keep him for a year so that we reduce our dependence on him, possibly with a view to him going next summer. So I personally think that if we get a good offer next summer, he'll most likely go probably Saudi for a bit less money than what they're offering. As for it does sound like it looks like the interest in Baleba was for us to get ahead, maybe, of some of the other teams who might potentially be interested in next summer, maybe Liverpool, City, that thing, so that if we maintain that interest, that we've already prepared the groundwork for him to potentially go in for a deal, whereas the other teams wouldn't have done that. So far, that's not to say that they won't get him next summer, and we've got to try and get into Europe. So for me, there is potential that we're possibly slightly ahead of others at this moment. That was the idea this summer, to get interest in him, to demonstrate that, keep good relations with him and Brighton, with the view to maybe, if we can, maybe try to get him in January, if not next summer. As for the situation, I personally think he'll go with Casemiro and Bruno again in the midfield against City. But it does offer the conundrum of Cunha is injured and he won't be available for the derby. Do you push Bruno up into 10 and then would you slot Mainu in? Or maybe would you do Casemiro Ugarte, maybe? Because while there's question marks over Ugarte, that Casemiro Ugarte, I think that their record is they've only lost one game when they've started together. So that might be something that you could potentially look at if Bruno is to push up into 10 for the game. Or the alternative is you just put Mainu in there possibly. So to me, it depends whether Cunha's fit for the game or not.
He's got a shot by all accounts. He's got a shot of playing. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if Cunha doesn't try and work his way back into the side on Sunday. I think we'll all agree we could do with him, but we need a fully fit Cunha to play another.
I think looking at what he's done with other players, that won't be an option. I
kind of agree with you. So I tend to think that Bruno plays the.
And I'm happy with that. And I've got to say, and have a fit Cunha 2 weeks later.
And also forgot about Mount as well. But
Mount's out. He's done. He's definitely out. Mount is. So Mount's not in consideration for this weekend.
He set a new personal record, 4 games in a row for Manchester United.
Well, he has, and apparently the injury is not as bad as feared, but it's 100% it's ruled him out. The thing is, don't forget, lads, Cunha didn't go to Brazil. He didn't go for treatment. Yeah. Brazil, he's been at Carrington.
So we don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, though, right?
Agreed. No, agreed. We don't. Although to be fair, if I've got a knock, I wouldn't want to get on a plane and travel for 15 hours, 16 hours.
I wouldn't, nor would I. But it's whether you trust the Brazilian medical staff over the Man United medical staff.
Well, we're getting a new doctor, aren't we, by all accounts? No, we're getting.
So there's that sort of compiles my reasoning behind that. It's like that's another new doctor. 2 in 2 years. 2 in 3 years.
The other option you have is you push Ahmad into the 10 and play Dallo at right wing back and Dorgu on left.
I don't think I'd do that.
No,
I'm not saying that we want it, but would Amorim do it?
Yes, because that's his son. So
I think Dallow's going to line up. I know we'll do the a show later in the week, but I think Dallow lines up against City on Sunday. Yeah, hate to say it, but I think he does. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's now Rúben Amorim, Bruno Fernandes Amorim, and Diego Dalot Amorim. I think they're all related because I can't understand.
I think Dorgu comes back in, plays left. I think Amorim plays right. It's Amorim. Dalot. He plays right. I would go with Casemiro, Mainu.
Dallow's actually got a knock. Yeah, that's true. He pulled out of the Portugal squad.
He'll play.
I'll just think that Joel.
He'll play. He'll play. He's never.
Well, do you think that's the old school? I've pulled out with a knock because
he's never. Yeah, he'll play. I think we're resigned to. I'm resigned to the fact that Dalot plays. You know what? I think Ahmad might just be the one to miss out Sunday.
Ahmad deserves to be dropped. I know that might be a bit controversial, but I think he's made more. He's made more mistakes than he's made positive impacts in the start of the season.
Ahmad didn't start the Arsenal game, did he?
No. I mean, we've got we'll have the press conference Friday
week. So, but there's one person we're forgetting about who is back, and that is Mazraoui. I wouldn't change that back three. So Mazraoui is a wing back. I'm happy with that. If Mazraoui is good enough to play in the 10, he's definitely good enough to play as a wing back.
He's Mazraoui for me. I'd play him.
I love the way he steps into midfield. I've got no issue with the way he plays into that gap.
It's an injury. Interesting one. I didn't know Dalot. I didn't realise he got a muscle injury. But we'll know Friday.
Just know a muscle injury can be a dead leg, but can be gone in one day or it can take a week.
Feels like a precaution, but I'm not sure. Not sure. Yeah.
Probably more like, well, you've been shit. You're not starting anyway, so you can go back to Man United. Don't get me wrong. Don't think managers don't think that way. It's a muscle injury. Will he be good enough to play? Is he starting? No.
Well, he did. But then he would say, "Well, I set up Embuemo for that goal." He did start the last game, though, didn't he? And he started against Arsenal. No, he started. He played for. No, he started 3 or 4 games, hasn't he? Hello.
Yeah, Arsenal, he started at Grimsby, started Brentford, and he didn't, like you say, he didn't start the Arsenal game. So I think
he didn't start the Arsenal game. He started the last 2, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It's a big game. Big game for both teams.
I have one more topic before we do the Q&A, and it's more of a general topic. I want your opinion on it. It's about the Premier League Hall of Fame. I don't know if you read today, there are some new nominees, 2 new open spots for the Hall of Fame, but still no
Ryan
Giggs. He won 13 Premier League medals, and he's not even nominated. So, as a Man United fan, we know the history of Ryan Giggs as a player. Should we look beyond what happens and the rumors with all the other stuff, or
they're not rumors? That's been open for like that is.
Yeah, but I don't know. What's your take, guys? Should Giggs be nominated?
Can I go first?
Yeah, please.
Please tell me how John Terry will, and we all know, if I can't remember, was he nominated in the last round? John Terry slept with Wayne Bridges' wife, well-known fact, caused a mass uproar, but he will be nominated, but Ryan Giggs won't because of what went on with him, sleeping with his brother's wife and everything. They're very close, and there was no domestic violence pushed against it. Domestic violence is and will never be tolerated in this country, I believe. But there are many accounts of footballers who have done it that have gone on to be in Hall of Fames around the world.
Has Ashley Cole ever been nominated?
What?
He's in it, isn't he?
He's in it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, some guy who brought a shotgun into the...
So
these are the nominees. We have Sol Campbell,
Jeff
Michael
Fabregas,
Carrick,
you know,
Jermaine Defoe,
TBH,
Evra,
pizza.
Fabregas.
Robbie
Yeah,
Fowler,
you can read it.
cocaine habit. Gary Neville, boring.
So let's flip it around. Out of these,
How many
who would you vote for?
Well, let's ask a bigger question first.
Okay.
What the fuck is the point of a Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Be the greatest players of the Premier League.
What does it achieve? I mean, you know, I understand.
It's an honor thing, you know. Just
Hall of Fame's been an American thing for ages and ages and ages, and all of a sudden the Premier League's got to have a Hall of Fame. Now, what is the criteria then to get in there? What is the who does the voting?
It should be categorised.
Who does the voting?
Things like that. It should be categorised as defenders.
As Wendy says, it's a massive thing in the US, and I fully agree with her, and I get that. She's right. I don't, you know, she's absolutely right there. So, what is the criteria?
We have it in our own heads, Stu.
Yeah,
we have it in our own heads. We will always debate who's the greatest striker of all time. We'll always debate who's the greatest thing. And we'll always debate whether it's Premier League, World Cup, or whatever. So,
but you'll never get there, though. But you'll never get there with the greatest striker of all time. You'll never get there with the best goalkeeper of all time. You'll never get there with the greatest goal of all time. You'll never get there with the greatest left-footed shot of all time. You do. It won't happen.
How many people play football in the world?
It's all subjective, and that's the issue for me. The
Hall
of Fame is all subjective.
In a Hall of Fame, I can agree with, because if out of how many players, there's 11 players, you know, 20 teams, 220 20 players instantly on a Saturday playing football, and you'll go, he's the best striker in the Premier League. He's the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. So that's what a Hall of Fame is.
But this isn't depicting it. This doesn't depict that, does it? This depicts whoever picks the Hall of Fame, their thoughts on football. You know, we're all
people who vote.
We're all registered. We're all registered with the FA, right? You're registered with FA, Mark. I'm registered with the FA in the UK.
Yeah. I know where you're going with this, and I do agree with that.
You'll be registered with the FA, Jarvis, in Denmark, and Tommy's probably registered with the FA. So you're all registered.
Money maker through social media.
Why haven't we been put out? Why isn't here's this year's Hall of Fame? You know, just because you're, I don't know, whoever it is media related is saying that X, Y, and Z should be in. For me, it doesn't hold much water at all, and I don't really think if you're a player in the Hall of Fame, that really holds much water anyway. Because look in your trophy cabinet, that defines your career, not whether you're in the Hall of Fame, and that's why, going back to Mark, you said straight away, why the hell isn't Ryan Giggs in it? And your point about John Terry is absolutely right. Johnny K's point of view about Ashley Cole. We all know what happened with Ashley Cole. Shoots a young trainee in the leg. John Terry gives him 20 grand out of his locker to shut him up. The old man realises what he can do, and he gets probably £1 million in his back pocket, and he gets away with that, Ashley Cole. And yet he's in the Hall of Fame as the best left back in the Premier League, supposedly. You know, to me, it just... exactly. Yeah, to me, it just it's a vanity thing for whoever, and I just don't agree with it.
There's an issue with the Hall of Fame being only how many years of the Premier League are we in? 20.
33.
33rd year.
Okay. Out of that 33, how many have been dominated by Manchester United and Arsenal?
Well, we've done 13, haven't we? Because we won 13 Premier Leagues.
13, Arsenal won 3.
Arsenal won 3. Liverpool have won.
How many times have they been second? That's what I mean by dominated. Even now, Arsenal is still up there, right?
And we've been second 4 times, haven't we?
So, in theory, you're picking players from probably, I would put Chelsea up there as well. Man United, Arsenal, and Chelsea from the history of the beginning of the Hall of Fame. But the players they're putting in there aren't even back in the 90s through the early 2000s. Yeah. We're now picking players who are further along. So they're not even, it's not even fair.
No, it isn't, because and I'm
And
going to
people
solve
think
something.
same players.
I'm gonna
I'll
get
tell you
shots here.
who should be in there. Georgie Kinklatzy.
Thank you, Rich. Well, I'm about to tell you this. The point you're making is a point I'm going to make now, Mark, and you're going to agree with me on this, and I know you are. And you cannot tell me that Angel Di Maria, I know he only played one season with us, is a Hall of Fame player if you're talking about a footballer of great stature. Now, Man United fans despise Di Maria, but nobody can tell me he couldn't play football at the highest level. Rúben, brilliant left-footed player. Brilliant.
But I'll go back. I'm talking early. The players that created the Premier League are the Hall of Famers.
Gordon Strachan. Why isn't Gordon Strachan in there?
Dion Dublin.
Yeah.
Great.
For me, in my opinion, you should only qualify if you haven't. Like when they do when they do the house plaques, where they say a famous person used to live here. They usually say that it has to be at least 20 years after the person's passed away. That maybe something like that for Hall of Fame, where you say you've got to have made your appearance at least 20 years ago for me to be considered in the Hall of Fame, because recency bias can affect great players in the 90s.
There is no criteria, Johnny K. If you,
I know, but that's
for me, if you're a striker, you're Wayne Rooney. You're more interested in how many Premier League goals you scored, whether or not you end up in the Hall of Fame. I'm the Premier League's top goal scorer. The end. Thank you very much.
But that's what puts you in the Premier League Hall of Fame. So the most clean sheets in your Premier League history puts you in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
the most goals.
I could live with that. I wouldn't call it a Hall of Fame, but I could live with that.
What about players like Letizia? For example, he never won anything, but he was always.
He's in the Ryan Giggs category, Jarvis, because of his political beliefs.
Yeah, his attitude. Yeah, that's why Sky dipped him, wasn't it? Yeah, he has a percentage penalty.
But I'm sure Jamie Carragher will be nominated in spite of spitting out a goal, though. This is what I mean.
It's all. I just don't agree with it. That's just my opinion, anyway.
Well, I'm trying to see who's in the actual Premier League currently, Hall of Fame, and we got Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, Dennis Bergkamp, David Beckham, Roy Keane, Eric Cantona, Thierry Henry, Alan Shearer. But it's just instantly come up for me asking Google to find them for me. Right? Where are the players? Like I said, where are the players that created the Premier League?
Where's the goalkeeper? Where's the goalkeeper?
What's one of the most iconic goals of the Premier League that's not from the top four?
Oh, for me. Well, Di Canio with you're on about the volley.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the cup? Wasn't that FA Cup?
No.
No, that was in the league.
So Tony Yeboah.
Tony Yeboah.
Yeah, for Leeds, yeah.
Matt Letizia against Tim Sherwood, Blackburn.
Yeah. Well, he's got a few good Letizia.
Newcastle against Newcastle.
That's one. That's over multiple heads and then volley.
Yeah. I mean, those are the types of goals you drool over.
Goalkeepers.
Muzzy is it? 1 goal this season for a volley in the top corner.
Trevor Sinclair.
Who the hell's Muzzy is it?
Trevor Sinclair, the only player I've ever seen score 2 overhead kicks from outside the box.
Peter Crouch scored that wonderful volley for Stoke.
No, but he's further on. I'm talking about your
I'm sorry. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
2000, 2001, 2002. At the start, these players come first, right? This is how you build your Hall of Fame up. Or you have an old age person, and then you have newer. But can you? At what point do you qualify for Hall of Fame?
This is what I mean.
Right?
Where's Stan Collymore? Where's Stan Collymore in there?
Stan Collymore doesn't have a chance because he beat up
Faustino Asprilla. Yeah, Faustino Asprilla. A couple of years, it was superb.
In 10 years' time, we're going to be asking to put Partey in there.
Well, it's a good point. So for me, great question, Jarvis, but it's for the Hall of Fame.
I love the Hall of Fame. If put the list back up again, let's actually just pick players. I don't agree with it, and let's not be biased.
Let's just play the game. Play the game,
But
Hall of Fame.
I'm telling you now, Silva needs to be in there.
Yeah, I agree.
David Silva, yeah.
Jermaine Defoe is an absolute goal-scoring machine.
Yeah.
Has done it for multiple clubs, so he definitely deserves to be in there. And going on age, Teddy Sheringham.
And but I'd also say, well, is Gary Neville the best right back there's ever been in the league?
Yeah, but you could also say Sol Campbell could be one of potentially, without injuries, one of the best centre backs of all time.
Right,
to put him and Vidic in one lineup is taking the piss, especially as they put John Terry in with Ashley Cole.
How many can you pick?
Two.
You can pick two.
Yeah.
You got to go with for me. I mean, nobody's going to like this, by the way. You got to go with David Silva, and you got to go with Mr. Eden Hazard.
What, fat man Hazard?
Yeah, he was fucking mega for Chelsea. He was just fucking brilliant. And for 4 seasons. Fowler runs in close for me. Robbie Fowler runs in really, really close. But David Silva, unmistakable. Totally agree with you, Mark. 100%. Wouldn't even bat an eyelid.
No.
Not an eyelid.
But to put Van der Sar in that lineup, he's not getting picked.
No.
Van der Sar, Fulham and
picked.
Manchester United. He's got one of the best clean sheet records in the Premier League history.
Ask me this question then, guys. Why isn't Vidic getting picked?
Because of who he's been put up against.
Yeah, nobody. You can't say Cesc Fabregas, and we all know how good he was for Arsenal. Patrice Evra.
Michael's already in there.
You couldn't put.
It's too many choices for two positions.
That's what I'm saying. It needs to be categorised per position: midfielder, defender, goalkeeper, striker.
Who would you pick then, Jarvis? Two.
Yeah, this is a difficult one, but I'm biased, Man United, so I would definitely go for Gary Neville. I think he deserves it. And the second one for me, it's between Van der Sar and.
What a great shout here by Dave.
Sheringham.
What a great shout there by Dave. Overmars. Yeah. What a fucking player he was. Perez. Emmanuel
Gary Neville still has
I've got another shout. He'll probably be never nominated for it, Stu.
Emmanuel Petit.
What about I've got a good one, former Red. Never been nominated, I'm sure, but Andrei Kanchelskis.
Kanchelskis. Yeah. Brilliant player.
So you guys spoke about Lee Sharp. Johnny, I don't know, you were watching last night as well, but you spoke about Lee Sharp. What happened to Lee Sharp?
Yeah.
Lee Sharp couldn't have been at Manchester United at the more of a wrong time. Kanchelskis on the right, Ryan Giggs on the left. Lee Sharp didn't get a look in.
He was brilliant, Lee Sharp.
Lee Sharp, absolutely superb, but Kanchelskis absolutely tore down the right-hand side.
Yeah,
and Ryan Giggs is Ryan Giggs.
Kanchelskis was, oh my God.
Sola's not in there yet either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd be interested to know what list of United's fastest, quickest ever players. I bet Kanchelskis will be right up there.
Dan James.
Absolutely brilliant.
Just for my 2 pence from that list, I will go Gary Neville and David Silva.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. There's too many players there. Gary Neville, best right back Premier League ever saw, in my opinion.
Because I'm basing it on who are the two the best in their actual positions?
Yes. And
Gary Neville is in the top, for me, number one, but certainly top 2 or 3 best right backs in the Premier League. For me, David Silva is probably one of the best ever midfielders in the Premier League. Eden Hazard on the left wing is a contender, Vidic and all that, but there's so many, depending on who you ask, there's many who would say debate, there's much debate who's the best centre-halves, who's the best midfielder.
Well, it's like me saying Ashley Cole or Dennis Irwin.
Yeah. I mean,
whereas
I think, unless you're from the modern era, most will probably say Gary Neville was the best right back.
But Irwin would get in as the best fullback.
Agreed.
Fullback on paper, yeah.
He was getting the best fullback. Yeah, he was absolutely. Irwin's absolutely brilliant. But really interested. That's why I just don't pay any attention to it, because it's just.
One thing I would like to know, from the very first one, how many of the players for the first 2 inductees or 4 inductees or whatever it was that went in the very first time, the people they were up against, have they been put back in again? No. You've been nominated, denied, and now you're getting people that we're probably naming these people from the other nominations, and they're still not there, and people are now going to move ahead of them. It's almost like you go to the shop, you pick your lottery tickets. Oh, you're not a winner. Back of the queue. Next lot come through. Back of the queue. And it's like, well, hang on.
But then it needs to be a selection where they'll say, right, you can pick one for each position each year, for example, and then do a rollover.
Yeah, because you couldn't even do it through the media, because every media is going to be biased to each club that they want to be with.
And you kind of do the other team of the year, don't they? Yeah, Red Stones asked, is Scholes in it?
I don't think so.
I
think he was nominated though, wasn't he?
But how can Scholes not get in the fucking? This is how.
Well, if he's in there with Lampard and Gerrard, then most will.
Yeah. Lampard and Gerrard are in there. Scholes isn't. And what is one of the biggest conundrums in English history in the last 30 years of how do we play Scholes, Gerrard, and Lampard?
So Dan,
only one of them has got.
So Dan thinks Scholes is already in it. Dan says Scholes is already.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
he wasn't on my list, but
he was inducted in 2022 apparently. Thanks for that, Dan. I don't know, and I don't pay enough attention about it. So,
Okay, guys, do you want to do a Q&A?
Yes,
we have 19 more minutes before we have to wrap it up. That's the 2-hour mark. So, do you have any questions?
Yeah, we got loads. Play the jingle. Play the jingle. Play the jingle. Play the jingle.
She's been writing.
It's that time again. It's Monday night. It's Jarvis Corner. It's knockout time. It is the Q&A. Welcome. Roll up. And we have got Johnny K in the house. I've learned to say in the house and not in the house, because apparently that's cool with the kids. In the house. We got Mr. Balls Out himself, Mr. Langridge, and we've got the suave, the sophisticated Stu Woolley. Hey, Jarvis. And of course, we got Jarvis Cocker. Get your questions in, please. We've got about 20 minutes to go. There's about 156 watching. For whatever reason, YouTube, we're in YouTube jail, and we've got no idea why. So I have called YouTube out on Twitter and said that they've put us in YouTube jail. So whether we get recognised or not, I don't know. We've got some questions in already. Trevor Wade straight in. With this one to the panel, guys. Just giving me a number. What score from 1 to 10 would you give Amorim since joining? Jarvis, I'll start with you. Just a number.
That's a difficult one, but I'll give you just a short answer. I'll give him I want to say 5, but 4.
4 from Jarvis. Mark?
I'm exactly with Jarvis. I'm going 4, 4.5, 5. Yeah.
Okay.
4 for me. We'll go whole numbers. 4 for me.
Johnny K.
Yeah, I'll probably give a 5 overall. I'd mark him up for how he's got rid of some of the, the troublesome people, and, he's tried to present an image, and you can see the identity and the style to develop, but the results haven't been good enough so far. So you'd say an average 5 at the moment.
Yeah, I back the manager, as I always do. I back every manager we have, but I'm afraid he gets a miserable 3 from me. I think there is way too much for him to do. So I think it's going to be from 3 to 5. if we get anything above 5, it'd be a miracle.
So an average of 4 from the panel.
Yeah, so it's an average of, it is an average of 4 from the panel.
Yeah.
Great question, Trev. One of your best, actually, and you might come up with some good ones. Very quick one here for Mark. Question: when will Mark actually get his balls out on his podcast? I heard he likes Cuprinol, and that's does what it does what it says on the tin. Everybody who's watching, please do subscribe to Mark's channel, the Balls Out Podcast. They are just starting out. They're going through a bit of a redevelopment again. Just keep your eye out for them, please, but do follow them because they could do with everyone's support as we all could.
Well, I could really do with your support because I've done my first ever solo video on the Balls Out podcast last week. Absolutely bricking it. I sounded like David Beckham back in the his early days.
Yes.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Good interaction. I think Danny was there, Barstein was there, and there was a few others in there.
Get out and like and subscribe that show, please.
We are. If you like my honesty on here, you'll get even more of it on there. So,
well, go and
then Mark, imagine doing it in Norwegian.
Yes. Look at that smile from John.
Yeah.
I'm Titanium. Will you star this comment for no reason? We've starred it, and there is always a reason. There's always a reason. Any comments that come in, we want to star, we will star. I like this question from Trev. Short answers only, starting with Johnny K. What is your favourite football jersey ever outside the Manchester United jersey? Mine is dead easy. Jarvis could. In fact, I'm going to let Jarvis tell the panel what mine is because he knows
ever.
Tipton Town.
He knows it. Yeah. So, Johnny K, yours.
Oh, favourite ever.
I've got to find
I've always liked AC Milan in white.
Okay.
So,
AC Milan for Johnny K. What year?
AC Milan white. Maybe the one when Inzaghi won the Champions League with them against Liverpool. That was a great shirt.
You know about Inzaghi born offside, Inzaghi?
Yes. When he ain't Inzaghi great, those days. There's something about I just love seeing AC Milan playing white. So
Okay, lovely. Mark, for you?
I'm just trying to find out what year it was. I can remember the shirt vividly. It was a Real Madrid black and orange shirt,
Fernando Redondo. Yeah, Fernando Redondo.
Yeah. Redondo. Yeah, it was the one they turned up to and absolutely destroyed us.
They were brilliant, weren't they? I know which top you're talking about. Yeah.
What, Inter?
No,
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
It had the collar, and Adidas has actually just re-released it. I think
I know. Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
And I think it was 2002. I think it was 2002, Mark, something along those lines.
Yeah, it would have been around 2001, 2002, because my eldest daughter used to use it as a baby blanket.
Oh, bless.
It was like a silky thing. She used to cuddle up to it. Obviously, it's normally smelt of me. So, yeah, she used to always cuddle up to it. So it has sentimental as well as one of my favourite kits of all time. The only problem with it, the collar wouldn't stay up.
Yes, yeah, they can't quite get it right. Jarvis, the man himself.
Well, I always had a weak spot for the green and white stripes of the Celtics shirt. I don't have any particular year, but I like the Celtics shirt. But besides that, my favorite shirt is the Argentinian shirt. For Maradona, Maradona on the back, the 1986 classic. That's
so Jarvis knows mine, ladies and gentlemen. Argentina 78. I still drool over that kit now. But that's my favorite national shirt. Kempes, yeah.
The AC Milan in 94, that was a great shirt too.
But I'm going to tell you of my favorite club shirt of all time. And are you ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? It is. I absolutely love River Plate's shirt. I adore River Plate shirt. They've never made exactly. A bit like Peru from 78, but I've always loved River Plate.
Totally with you. It is a shirt it's iconic, isn't it?
They're just brilliant. Boca Juniors, I like Bath Times Choice. What Jarvis, what does the what does the guys say? Holland, Cruyff, Newcastle 95, 96. Now, that's the purple and blue one, isn't it? With the, hey, Vicky.
I thought you said Vicky doesn't appear Monday nights.
She doesn't. I'm getting told off now. That was the purple and blue one, wasn't it? The stripe with the grandad collar. Ajax 22-23. I can't remember that one.
Vicky, please come back and tell me, are you talking about the Bob Marley shirt?
Oh, he's probably, yes. Now, Netherlands 98. That is the one.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
Van Basten.
Yeah. Now, I'm just trying to, the pattern.
It's orange.
It's like hexagonal patterns, isn't it? It's yeah, wonderful shirt. That wonderful shirt.
Casemiro, I think we're all pink Lotto shirt, just has Lotto on the sleeve in red, and it's a bright pink shirt with some black triangles on it.
Yeah.
So Juventus have had some really nice black and white shirts, though, haven't they?
Yeah. Let's have a look there. Van Basten 20. Atletico Madrid 2003, 2004. Interesting. Santos for Catherine. No nonsense. McDade.
I loved the Barcelona one in the early 2000s. It was like that red and blue. Rivaldo scored a red kick against Valencia. Yeah. That was a nice
stripes with a fin bit on it.
1988. What a shirt! What a shirt! Argentina 86. Same as you for Dave. Fluminense for Dave. Dan says Fluminense. Boca from Bath time. Yeah, great question. I love that.
I'll give you an iconic Premier League one or two. One is Newcastle, and one is West Ham, and it's both for their sponsorship. The West Ham Doc Martens, Paolo Di Canio.
Oh, Doc Martens, yeah. And
obviously Newcastle,
Newcastle Brown, yeah.
But for me, it was the goalkeeping kit with that on.
You had the Predator, the 3 Predator stripes.
Yeah, it was a Predator one.
Yeah. Great question there, Trev. We will give you that one, pal. That goes down as one of your best questions as well. Catherine, no nonsense. McDade is in, Jarvis. This one is for you. Question: do you think young players nowadays? I should take that really, but maybe I shouldn't. I could be on here for a while.
Don't have enough time.
No. Jarvis, are players nowadays wrapped up in cotton wool, lads?
Well, it depends, but yeah, on a professional level, I believe a lot of them are. I think they are a little bit complacent, a little bit too complacent early on, and I think that's a big problem. And people don't get to talk to them in that way, and everybody gets offended over small things. But I think it's just how youth are nowadays, and it's part of the modern culture. We all get offended all the time, and I don't like it. I'm an old geezer, so that's just the way it is. But okay, let's not give Stu the word. Move on to the next question.
I'm just going to say one thing. They are babies, Catherine. Babies. You know it. Great question, Catherine. I love that type of question. I do. But
I think does not the Fulham Chelsea game not answer that question on how wrapped up players and kids are in general by what that free kick that was given and the goal disallowed for someone standing on someone's foot.
I know, pathetic. Right, I'm titanium to counter Trev's question. So Trev has come up with this question first. And I do like this question. Start with you, Johnny K. What is the best piece of advice you have ever been given in life? Mine's very
my great grandmother. She passed away around 2001. She always said, "It doesn't cost a penny to behave."
Oh, good one. I like it. Yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're all going to go back to our grandparents for advice here. Mine was my granddad, and he was a military MP, and I've lived by this all my life. If you're not 5 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, I like that one. I do. Jarvis?
I can't say anything that I have on top of my mind. Carpe diem or something. Live life. Be happy. Be nice to people.
My granddad, clip round the ear, grow up. Best piece of advice he gave me, grow up. And he was right. He was absolutely right. I'd fallen off my bike. I was trying to learn my bike, and I was moaning and whinging because I got little greys on my elbow, my knee. Clip round the ear, grow up. And that was it. And it's funny, isn't it, what you learn and what you take. And Jarvis, you're right. There's so many pieces of advice, you just can't calculate it all because you don't know you're getting the right advice at that particular time. Only when you think about it years later do you realise what it really meant. I do like that question. So,
one of the other best bits of advice came from Rocky.
Oh, yeah. The film.
Not about how many times you get knocked down, it's about how many times you get back up. If you truly want something, you don't give up until you get it. And I'll tell you what, 80s and 90s films had some great advice in them. If you actually listen,
Forrest Gump.
So here's a great.
No, that is not what I meant.
Yes,
here's a great counter. Here's a great counter. We'll start with you, Jarvis, because I think this is massively, for you, important and pertinent for you because you. What advice do you? Sorry, where is it? I am titanium. Here we go. To counter Trev's question, what's the one advice you would give a young player in your position? I like that question. We're all coaches on here, so
it's a little bit controversial, but I would say stop running. Stop running everywhere because young players they don't read the game. They just run. Oh, there's a ball. There's a ball. And this is how they work. They should
sorry,
just.
I just saw Fred Flintstone driving his car then. Get his fucking little feet going. Absolutely brilliant. That's a good advice, that is. Johnny?
I know it was made out to be a bit of a comedy element, but I think, for advice, that stay humble might be a good piece of advice. So just remember where you come from.
Be humble, be
exactly, yeah. Mark? What's the best advice you
God, I feel like I give out these like every week at training. No, I'll tell you what, the most common thing I've seen and advice that I give is just do it. Don't think about what you're going to do. Just do it. If a ball's coming in, if you're thinking where you're going to put it, you're going to mess it up. If you're thinking about where I'm going to pass it, you're going to mess it up. Play on instinct, because if you have to think about it, you're giving the opponent's chance to get to you. Don't think, just do it. You make a mistake, get the ball back, try it again.
I've seen a great piece of advice from the 90s during Sir Bobby Charlton's soccer schools when he was with Ryan Giggs. He's given a talk to the kids, and he said there's no better sound for a footballer than hearing this ball hitting the back of the net. He's like, don't be afraid to shoot, don't be afraid to miss.
Yeah,
take a chance.
Yeah, I like that one. Take pictures in your head. My piece of advice that I give to my kids all the time when I'm coaching is always ask questions. That's what I say to them. Always ask questions, because when you don't ask questions, you're either not listening or you're not interested. Always,
but don't ask them at the wrong point, like when they're getting a team talk.
Kids are like that. Normally, the
I'll
kids
just go back because
Johnny,
what you just said is very true, and I say something funny enough to one of my daughters who plays netball.
Yeah.
Now they play them around in different positions at her age constantly. So when they go in to shoot, there's obviously only two people from each team in there. And all I ever say, don't worry about missing, because if you don't shoot, it won't ever go in.
Yeah.
And you can apply that in any sport. If you don't take the shot, it's never going to go in.
Yeah.
So you can't
the only person on the pitch who doesn't want to hear the net bulging is a goalkeeper.
But even my son's a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Save the next one. Doesn't matter if it goes in. If it's hit the back of the net, just save the next one, because you can't save every shot.
No, you can't. Right, guys.
Guys, I want to say one word about this, because when I'm a coach, but it's 8 or 9 years old. But tonight, at halftime we were down 5-3, and most of the players were complaining because there was one guy on the other team, a little bit bigger than the others, kind of a bully when he played. But that's life, and the referee didn't give them all the free kicks and whatever they should have had. So the focus from the players were almost crying, angry, and upset. They couldn't control themselves. So we took like 3 minutes and just sat down in a ring and talked. And I said to them, "Show me your angriest face." And all the kids were, And I said, "Show me your saddest face." And they like everybody just crying, and they were laughing and having fun. And then I said, "Show me your happiest face." And everybody was just cheering and having so much fun. And then I said, "Yes, you see, you can't control your emotions. It's so important. So go out there, remember that. Don't let them get under your skin. Don't get bothered about the referee. Just play your game and control your emotions." And then we went out in the second half, and we played better. So we ended 9-9. So just learning them the small things. For me, I think it's giving advice to players. It's an ongoing process. It's not just one big advice that will save your career. It's all those little details through your whole career.
Well, Jarvis, I'm thinking more, thank God Stu weren't there, because he probably would have told him, well, you know what, it don't matter how big they are, because they're all the same size when they're lying on the floor. Take him out, and he won't be able to knock you over.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never would have said that. Absolutely. Just before we carry on, gents, I just received a message on Twitter from, and he is listening, Red Devil Engine. Yeah, and Red Devil Engine. Red Devil Enigma. Thanks for dropping the message. It says, "Hi Stu, listening to live to Tactical Devils. Great show as always. I was very pleased to hear the name Andrei Kanchelskis. What a great player. Thanks, Red Devil Enigma, for your message, and thanks for listening."
But before we go, there's some breaking news from Fabrizio Romano. Let me just share this. It's
just a new doctor. No.
Nuno Espirito Santos and Nottingham Forest have part ways with immediate effect. Decision made after the tension between the parties in the recent weeks. So it's over for Nuno 41 seconds ago. So 3 candidates, including Andrzej Postecoglou, under consideration.
Jose Mourinho back in the Premier League then, I would imagine.
Mourinho, Postecoglou, or Eric Ten Hag.
Shame that, but it was always coming to a head that. He come out and publicly said the relationship's shot. He was always going to get fired. So,
yeah.
And let's be fair.
Yeah, you could imagine Marino going in, him and the owner getting in loggerheads.
Jarvis, we must carry on, guys. We're
Can we give Amazon a call for that Newcastle if Mourinho goes in, though? Because I want to see that.
Yeah, we're over time. From Helga, Jarvis. He says, "Jarvis, as you are a loyal Scandinavian, have you watched Vikings?"
Yes. I think it's 5 seasons, all 5 seasons. Brilliant show. If you haven't seen it, go watch Ragnar Lodbrok.
End of the first season, Jarvis, when she's like to the Reverend, "Do you want to join us?"
Okay, all right, okay. Well, moving on.
What's your thought on the flogging episode?
Again, moving on, gentlemen. Moving on. Question to all 4 of us, because this was put in way before Johnny joined us. If you were an ancient warrior, who would you be and why? Well, we got to start with Mark on that one, haven't we?
I would be Gilgamesh.
Okay. I would be King Harold.
Didn't he get shot in the eye?
He got shot in the eye, but he was a hard bastard and he was nuts. So I would have been him. And he's English. I think he was English, wasn't he? Yeah. So, Jarvis, you could only be a Viking.
Must have been some kind of Viking.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the name of all the old Viking kings? I can't remember.
Odin.
Odin's
he was a god, so yeah, the god of all gods.
Yeah, be a god.
Yeah. I always liked Thor. Yeah, I think he's much cooler,
Cool.
riding around, smashing his hammer everywhere.
Can you lift his hammer though? That's the question. I mean, can you lift his hammer?
No, most likely not.
And, I'm just trying to think. Well, Alexander the Great be one.
Catherine, yes, he'd been one. Yeah, Catherine.
Probably go with Alexander the Great then.
He could have been Genghis Khan because he was a fruitcake as well.
No, do never go with Genghis Khan.
No, I know, but he was a fruitcake though, wasn't he?
A third of the world population is related to Genghis Khan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's an absolute nutter, wasn't he? So, great question. I am Titanium. What else have we got here? Yalam Almin has a question. And
Big up, Yalam.
What are your thoughts about Rúben looking to go into contract talks? I'm not sure if it was planned for now or the summer next year. There was been some news that we are looking to time down on a long-term contract, wasn't there?
Well, the contract will end at the end of this current year with the option.
No, it's next year, isn't it? It was 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah, but I thought it was the
option
of triggering the next year. So I think it was 1.5 plus an additional one. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm with him. I think this is expected. He came in on half a year. You've got to see how you went. You've now been back, so now I expect these contract talks to be going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Satan knew. I think if you don't start contract talks with him, he'll be wondering from his side what's going on. The club need, the fans will be asking questions. No, it needs to be done. Good question. Thank you for that, Yala. Trev says, what would you like us to come back as in your next life? And you don't say a Mankini. Jarvis, what would you like to come back as?
Well, maybe a dog. I could live inside a house, relax.
Fucking hell. Jarvis, you can be anything you want in the world and not come back as a fucking dog.
What else should I be? like a
oh, mate,
have to hunt for your own food. Lion? No, I think I would rather. Yeah, it would be better being a dog or a cat.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for that.
What type of dog? Come on.
Chihuahua.
What's the name of the Belgium? Not the German Shepherd, but the other one. Looks like a German Shepherd. Belgium.
I don't know dogs. You couldn't be a Great Dane, though, could you? You'd never get away with that.
No. More like a terrier.
Yeah, Yorkshire Terrier.
So anyway, Jarvis would like to be a dog. I love that one. Mark, what would you come back as? I love that, pal. That's just brilliant.
I could come back as anything.
Yeah.
But that's not a dog. I would come back as an alien.
Okay. Was that so you could probe someone? I mean, hold on.
Then they all know they exist.
We've got a dog and we've got an alien. Come on, Johnny. What let's put Johnny in.
I'd probably come back as a lion. A lion. I love
lion. Johnny Gale.
Lion.
Yeah.
I love lions. They're brilliant.
I can only come back as one thing, can't I, gents?
Women's underwear.
Well, yeah, I was thinking of that one. I was first going to say I'd like to be an Adidas Tango football because it's the greatest football of all time. But you can only come back as one thing, and that would be a silverback gorilla.
Yeah, gorilla. Yeah.
So we've got a dog.
They're almost extinct, so good luck with that.
Yeah. So we can probe someone. We've got a lion, and we've got a silverback gorilla. That was a brilliant question, Trev, because that was a lot of fun. And it's got us all kind of thinking. Jarvis, what did the chat say? He wants to come back as what? As the chat
let's see what they're saying. Mr. B comes in with the H Chihuahua.
Oh my God.
Jarvis with the Chihuahua.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
The dog that looks like Rick Astley.
If you're watching this back,
sorry, guys.
There is that cat that looks like there is that cat that looks like Phil Foden.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening live and you're not watching the show, this is a football show. It's a very serious football show. We are a tactical show, but we seem to have gone off piste with this.
To be a lion, a silverback gorilla, and a dog walk into the bar. The barman's an alien, pulls out a probe.
Yeah, I was going to say the alien, the fucking barman's an alien.
That lions have poor eyes, so the horse an alien.
Right, moving on, guys. I've got to move on. Sorry. We'll get that's a great question, that one. Oh, here we go. Now this is a great question, actually. So, Jarvis, one for you, this pal.
Yep.
And I think it's really apt because you've got to make a decision for your kids, Philip in particular, moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Small or minuscule shin pads be banned for the older, bigger ones to protect players, that they are the club's assets after all. I like that question.
There is that. I've got something. Yeah, this is a great question.
For me, personally, I didn't like the big shin pads, but maybe they should have been banned. But how many injuries do people get on their shins? It's mostly ankles, it's ligaments, so not serious. It hurts, but Thai fighting. They start kicking in concrete poles. You can actually make your shin harder. So, no, I don't want to make rules for everything.
Okay, Mark.
I know of managers who have banned the mini shin pads. So these mini shin pads, which are 3 inches, 4 inches,
they're that big,
maximum. Jogo's probably the biggest of the mini ones, which you can see, which are like a sock strap-on one.
Yeah.
I hated shin pads when I played. I'd try and get away with not wearing any because they were bulky and it does affect your touch right on your shin when you're putting the ball down. It can hit your shin pad before it hits your foot. Yeah. But these mini ones have been banned by a lot of clubs because exactly what you said. Bad tackles in the lower leagues, they are going to hit your shins. They are going to break your legs. And if you're semi-professional or even just lower professional, you're going to take more bad tackles. Up in the top end of the leagues, yeah, you can wear them in the Premier League if you want to. Because, as I said half hour ago, stand on someone's foot now, apparently it's a free kick. So
there's no real tackles anymore. Yeah.
So there are no tackles. But as you go down and go to your non-league days, I implore everyone, if they can't go watch their club, go to a non-league game. Proper tackles going in, sliding tackles, upended. The guy gets up and runs after the ball afterwards. Then they're wearing big shin pads. And they're not big. Jesus, the size of your hand.
No, my shin pads are like this. To be honest, I don't like the mini shin pads either, Jarvis. And the reason is that I've had 2 pairs of shin pads via tackles crack on me. And have left me with scars that big on my actual shin. So I wear the larger ones, but I wear the sock and then around them, so they're more comfortable. I don't wear ankle pads anymore or anything like that. So I'm with Mark on that one. Two small shin pads. I don't understand why they were even bought in at some point. You look at Jack Grealish, for example. He's got it, and that Tyler Diblin. They've got the socks rolled down now below their knee. Yeah, below their knees. And they've got these stupid little pads. One day somebody will have a very, 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 very David Pearce.
Can I say they do breach the law? It is a shin pad, and you're wearing it down on your lower ankle. Your shin is higher. Yes. Shin is a shin bone that is like that, and you're wearing it here.
Your weakest part of your shin is right in the middle. The weakest part of your shin is right in the middle. That's your weakest part. That's where a shin break will occur. It won't occur under your knee, and it won't occur above your ankle. It will occur right in the middle. That's where you get a shin fracture or break.
Yeah, you'll dislocate your knee and break it up the top.
I'm with you, Mark. Johnny K?
Yeah, I mean, I would always advise wear a stronger shin pad, but also it comes down to individual responsibility as well on the part of the player as well, that if they choose to wear a smaller shin pad, then they potentially run the risk. So is banning the right thing? Possibly, because it is an asset for the club, but also it's like the players got responsibility themselves. So for me, I would always advise for longer shin pads, everything. But at the end of the day, I think professional personal choice, unfortunately, has at times got to be a factor, I feel.
Yeah. Ladies and
Do
gentlemen,
you remember the armadillos?
Oh God, yeah. I never had them.
I always remember.
They were brought in for a reason, because they gave tackles tend to come in from behind and things like that, and they gave you all-round protection on your shin and your calves. They were horrendous. Yeah, I'm not sure how you could get a sock over the top of them.
No,
because obviously they funnel downwards like that, and you're trying to put a sock up and it's pushing these flaps upwards.
Yeah,
and now we've gone from that to something that's this big.
I've actually seen players, modern day players, by the way, just very, very briefly, wear kickboxing pads. You know, those very durable kickboxing pads. No, great. Gents, that wraps up the question time. Brilliant questions as always. I think we've had a lot of fun on the panel tonight, Trev, with some of your questions have been absolutely brilliant. And Dan P's right. You need to at least protect yourself at some way. Jarvis, over to you, my old mate.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant show, as you said. Everybody coming in with hilarious comments. You know, I mean, laughing my what do you call it?
Your ass off. Your ass off.
Ass off. Yeah. I want to thank everybody in the chat, Mr. B and the Madness, Dan P, Tyrone Williams, Wendy Grant coming in, Strefford Elite, all of you coming in, and Jonathan Liljenberg for the super chat. Same with I Am Titanium. All the good questions from Trevor Wade, Helge Skjæveland, Jarle Malmin, Catherine McNaid, Retro 77. All of you guys. You make the show, you know. And my brilliant panel, as always, we have a lot of football knowledge on this panel. So it's always enjoyable on a Monday night. Thursday will be the next show. I will travel.
Probably go Friday.
Yeah, so next show will probably be Friday night.
Because Mark can't do it. Mark will be with me. And Johnny K, if you can make Friday night, you're more than welcome. We'll probably we'll push out to some Meeks as well. See if some Meeks can.
Hopefully we can get some Meeks on the show too. So it will be without Jarvis, but please tune in. And Friday night and Sunday is the Manchester City.
So we'll do the show probably about 9 o'clock, and then Jarvis, you can make a decision whether you can make it or not.
I will see. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, see.
A 7 till 7 bender. Oh. God.
He can't.
I was coming like, hello.
He can't do 7 till 7 anymore. That was a one-off, apparently. He said to me, his tongue was fucking drippy. He was drooling. His tongue was dripping.
What? You mean it was dribbling like a dog?
It was dribbling like a chihuahua.
It's been a brilliant show, guys. So tune in Friday 9 p.m. around-ish. Maybe Samix will come on and
it'll be about 9 p.m. Me and Mark will definitely be on. Johnny K is more than welcome. Just gotta let me know, Johnny, if you can make it, and you can come on to the show. We'll do a preview of the match. We'll pick our starting 11. You guys can pick your starting 11. We'll have a conversation about that. It'll be about an hour and a half. For the preview, and then we'll all be back again Sunday night, and then Jarvis will join us if he can, and then we're back to normal from Monday. We're all back now from travelling and things that night, so back to normal Monday night, 9 o'clock for Jarvis's corner.
And please, if you haven't, smash the like and subscribe if this was your first time on the Tactical
Devils. And please push us out to as many people as you can. If you've enjoyed the show tonight, you've had a lot of fun like we have. We don't often always laugh on here like schoolgirls, but tonight some of the questions have been absolutely brilliant, and we've had a lot of fun. And there was a question, by the way, from Mark: do you believe in aliens? I think his answer about what would you come back in the afterlife told you that he certainly does.
Hey, I believe we can't be the only creation in the universe.
I think you're probably right, to be fair. So, Joe, it's a great point. I've still got an old pair of shinnies that I carry 3 pairs of shinnies in my bag, and one of those actually has ankle pads.
I have ankle pads. Pads too. We're talking 20 years ago.
My first ever pair of shin pads, gentlemen and ladies, were Manchester United shin pads in 1976, and they were fucking terrible. Yeah.
Scratches down them, shoe style.
Yeah.
Another pair.
Oh dear.
And carbon fiber pair.
Yeah, there you go. Always got to have about 3 pairs. So Jarvis, make sure you get Philip another couple for his bag.
Yes. Well, I always bring extra because I'm the coach. I have to look out for my kids.
I meant to ask you this. What's Philip's go-to pegs? What's his go-to brand?
Well, now it's the Leo Messi Adidas shoes. Yeah.
Oh, we like those, does it? The F50s. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, very. They're the Stormzy ones, aren't they?
Not the Stormzy's one. I have contacts.
Yes, Jarvis knows my boot collection. I carry 5 pairs of pegs with me, and Jarvis goes, "Why?" Because I've got backups as well. So I've got World Cups as my primary, Kaisers as backup. I've got Copa Mundials as primary, Kaisers as backup. I've got a pair of warm-up boots, as Jarvis knows, 2 pairs of 4G and 5G studs, 2 pairs of firm ground studs, and 2 pairs of multi-ground.
So for those that's not aware, he's just named about £1,500 worth of football boots.
Yes. Rough. When me and Jarvis were going through him, he was giggling at me, weren't you?
Yeah.
I can't say a big shoe. I've only ever worn Nike Mercurials or Adidas Predators, and at £200 a pair, you can imagine. I'm like you. I have all my boots, training boots.
Yeah, well, yours, those Stormzy, they're more like 260 quid a pair.
And because they're limited edition, if I hadn't have worn them, they would have been worth a hell of a lot more money. Because size 13 pair of them, you will not do it.
No. Interesting. Sorry, Jarvis. We digress.
Yes, let's just wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please remember to smash the like and please leave a comment in the non-live section after the show. So everybody, have a good night, sleep well, and we will see you on the next one.
Cheers.
Bye.
See ya.